Ain't the hair of the dog that bit you, it's more the fist of the boot that hit you. You weren't so drunk that you didn't know what you done, and you sure looked a disgrace after this white pepper sprayed your face. It was just two sounds, him hitting you, hitting the floor. And I hear you brag on about your Arkansas roots, but sometimes it just seems an excuse to dance from pianos and swing from chandeliers. Have a little more respect for your state, you're a Razorback, goddammit, act that way. We're drinking wild turkey and howling at the moon. And we know you ain't a fool, cause we sent you to the big school. And you call me redneck, but you don't care what that means. Always running down your next street, having trouble keeping your nose clean. Living your life in white trash luxury, just living the dream of white trash luxury.
5 years ago, I sold everything I owned and I bought a fifth-wheel trailer. And the first night, really wasn't sure where I was going to stay. I parked out in front of my friend's yard. And then I found this lady over in Northridge who would let me park in her yard. During the weekdays, I would commute back and forth to the office, to my job. And on the weekends, I'd pull out to the beaches or the mountains or the desert and stay in motion, chase a few dreams. So for the first year, I basically was just adapting and learning how to live in a shoebox. The second year, I bought a dirt bike and I went out in the desert and started riding the mountains with my friend. Third year, I bought a Harley Davidson and rode cross country, guerrilla style. Fourth year, I started a rock band, you guys know. And year 5, I got laid off. Tim had always been a friend of mine. We'd hang out at the Springbok. He was a fellow Arkansan and we'd always been friendly with one another. And when he heard that I lost my job, he was the first one to step up and offer a helping hand. He asked me to come over and help him with some of the things that he had going on over there, and I happily obliged. Didn't have any problem at all doing that. During that time, he offered us a place for the band to rehearse, a lockout for our studio, and we spent a lot of time over there rehearsing. We did our very best to take care of everything over there, and kind of did the best we could.
What is that? What's that behind you? I see something on the screen. Is that blood?
That was tough.
Blood. Well, I mean, because there's blood down here.
Bleeding, yes.
You signed your skin in blood, man. What am I gonna tell Tim?
Well, I'll figure out. Say it, dude. I'll just get some Clorox cleanup and.
Listen, we gotta fix this.
You'd have to airbrush that fucker.
We're gonna have to fix this. I mean, we can't leave it be like that.
And just try to slowly rub it off.
For once, you didn't fuck something up, Steve, so you're on the bandwagon. No, we shouldn't touch anything. I mean, we're just gonna make it worse.
Google movie screen
cleaning.
Get that off of there.
Surely. Yeah. What do you think we can get this out? Next time, spell it Rockinsaw.
Okay. The thing ate me, so I ate it back. You know?
Pretty soon, Tim and I started talking about the Sturgis trip and how it would be a good way to promote the band, kind of going off the beaten path and going to different small towns and introducing those people to Rockinsaw rather than waiting for them to come to us. So he made a couple phone calls, and next thing I know, I'm spending the rest of my severance pay on camera equipment and cameras and lenses and SD cards. And he's got everything all squared away and ready to go. We're starting to load the trailer up. I found a couple of teenagers that would help be my crew. We could mold them in. They had zero experience. We got a driver. But before we left, we did have one obligation that we had to fulfill. There was a week at the Springbok that we had to get knocked out. That was a good kickoff party.
It's funny how when you ask for something, you get it.
It's very profound, Chris.
And if you're an asshole, then you say, go fuck yourself.
Eye contact was never made.
Never.
It's almost like telepathy.
Someone might say clairvoyance. Nah, not clairvoyance.
I don't know, that's a stretch, you know. Telepathy is a much better word. And if you say that during cunnilingus, telepathy, that could be a winner. Right?
What you want is telekinesis. That's what you really want.
I don't know. The telepathy, I think, you got the lips and the tongue, the telekinesis. I don't know, man.
Oh, that's teeth.
It's like gargling.
That's a lot of teeth.
Yeah, it's a lot of teeth.
What happened?
Oh,
I was about to break off Budweiser as an acronym. What does Budweiser stand for?
Buddy, you drink way extremely intensely,
Insanely.
so erotically rude.
No fool!
That actually is.
Not Level Up, but with the other one?
Damn it, I forgot.
I know, right?
That word was going to come in handy too.
It's going to be meant for something.
Cunnilingus.
Cunnilingus.
What's a fist like that?
Cunning linguist.
Oh, telekinesis?
Telekinesis.
Telepathy. So the telepathy will tickle.
I packed my acoustic guitar because the whole band couldn't come on this trip. We just didn't have enough money to bring the other guys, and they had jobs, so they couldn't go. So it was up to Tim and I to go to promote the business of Rockinsaw. And Tim was pretty good at it. We left late at night. It was about 7 o'clock. We were all running on adrenaline. Had spent the day preparing everything and double and triple checking. And about Baker, we tuckered out and decided to pull over and get some sleep. There wasn't really anywhere to stay or camp there. So we just pulled over in a truck parking lot right across from the world's largest thermometer and crashed out for the night. I laid the deck back on the rig and slept on the back of the rig under the stars. Maybe got 2 or 3 hours sleep when Tim came knocking and woke everybody up. Wanted to get an opening shot of the show. So I jumped on the motorcycle, and with the thermometer as our background, we shot our opening scenes. I wasn't very comfortable talking on camera. Still not very comfortable talking on camera. But Tim helped coach me through it, and we finally got a wrap that worked.
I'm Drew Alexander, and this is day 1 on my trip to Sturgis, South Dakota. I'm standing in Baker, California, gateway to Death Valley. Today's going to be a hot one. Come with me. We're going to have a good time.
We drove into Vegas, and pretty soon we came to the entrance to the Valley of Fire. We knew there was going to be a lot of two-lane there, and probably going to be a lot of places to fill up along the way. It was about 100 degrees. I would pour water down my neck, and it would just evaporate off of me. It was incredibly hot, so I needed to take a break a few miles in. So we pulled over at these formations called the beehives. And Tim, in his usual way, he was always coaching and mentoring, set the cameras up for the kids and sent them off to get some footage of the beautiful rock formations and the geologic formations that were there. But I also started thinking about the kids and the experience that they were going to have on this trip. Kind of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for them to jump on a rig with all of this equipment and drive to South Dakota. And they might not appreciate it while it was going down, but I'm sure if they look back on it in their lives at a later time and appreciate that at this time and the experience that they gained from it.
I rode the dusty lane. I didn't know it then. That's what made me a man. I was chasing strays, driving herds, rewarding rain, using stars, navigate, old El Paso, I live my way. I wasn't much to look at, never had much to say, never thought that
We pretty much stayed on 2-lane until we hit Overton, Nevada, where we laid over for the evening, had a nice dinner at a local restaurant. Of course, Tim woke us up early the next morning, and we were on the road again, hitting the 15, crossing over into Arizona, and finally into Utah.
Well, here we are, Rockinsaw, on our way to Sturgis. That's Drew Alexander in front of us with his motorcycle, guitar, and all his crap strapped on, and his Serape blowing in the wind, and all that stuff's going on. We're just, you know, another day in paradise. We're headed for St. George, Utah. So, here we go.
We continued on to Springdale, Utah. Decided to grab a bite to eat. We went into a little bar and grill, and true to his form, Tim whipped us up a gig, talked the owner into letting us set up and do an acoustic gig in their bar. So we set up to the background of Zion and did a nice acoustic gig for the crowd, and we set everything up and moved on into Zion National Park, where I was promptly threatened with arrest by some of the park rangers there for reckless motorcycling. I guess I was maneuvering through the park for shots a little more fluidly than I should have been. But I smiled and nodded my head, and they let me go. And we moved on through Zion, which was beautiful scenery, and we got some beautiful shots of that as well. And it came time to look for an RV park.
All right, well, hang on, Drew. Roll back and get in the shot a little bit.
Awesome. Thank you. Everybody's wearing cowboy hats and spitting and shit.
Bower Canyon Ranch. It's 10 minutes up the road.
Don't fuck up.
So about 40 minutes later, we were pulling into Bower RV Park. Tony and Grant jumped on the fire and got everything set up there. Tess started dinner, and Tim and I sat down and started the editorial process of taking all the footage that we'd shot for the day and collecting it and organizing it so we'd have chips ready for the following day. And quickly that became our routine when we settled into camp in the evenings. The following morning we woke up with the roosters crowing. It was a beautiful day. I slept in my hammock that night. We started packing everything up, and everything was going smoothly until Grant and Tony threw the hot coals from the previous night's fire into the trash bin. We escaped from the Bower RV Park, no one the worse for wear. I was getting really excited about Sturgis, but the main thing is I wanted to find a place to go fishing. So we rolled north on the 89, and we got some beautiful scenery shots. However, moving with the rig was kind of slow. It didn't move as fast as I did. So I would tinker with my cameras and try to get some B-roll shots along the way. And we had struggled along the way with communication also. The walkie-talkies and headphones and everything in the helmets weren't working very good. It was just really too much wind and road noise to overcome. Probably the best thing that we had was hand signals, and the crew was signaling that they were hungry. Pulled into this community called Hatch. First place was a dud. I met this guy named Michael. And he directed us to the Galaxy of Hatch, which turned out to be the perfect diner for the crew. It had a good theme to it. It was almost a brand new place, very good food. So we sat down, we had some breakfast. We met this guy named Hutch. Hutch volunteered to give us a tour of the biker hotel that they were going to open next spring. So we went on the tour. It was really cool. So is this the...
Yep, dude, check it out, man. It's sick as hell.
This is the biker hotel?
Yep.
The biker hotel of Galaxy, huh?
Yep. This will be open come spring.
And you did all the welding? Oh, wow. This is awesome. This is pretty cool.
Turn the light on when the remote gets fixed in it. You turn the light on, it sounds like a Harley.
Dude, this is really cool. Are they all the same, kind of the same layout?
They're a little bit different. All these signs I got out of the county, they all got bullet holes in them.
Yeah, the bullet holes in the signs, that's a nice touch. So I'm from Arkansas originally, so that makes a lot of sense to me.
Well, we're from West Virginia. And
You got to shoot at something. All the accoutrements of home.
Yep.
LCD TV.
Yep.
Very nice. How long you been settled here?
5 years.
You want to head down this way? Yeah, these will be filling up next week, I bet.
Well, they won't be up until next spring. I was telling you, if you ain't riding the Harley, you don't belong in here.
That's what everybody in this town keeps telling me. So they're real bike friendly here.
Yep. Oh, yeah, we love them.
Yeah.
I met good people riding bikes.
What's in here? Oh, a refrigerator for the beer. I like the polish rack too. This is cool, that old Pepsi machine, huh? Old icebox. How many years did you do the driving around welding thing?
22.
22 years.
I got up here and realized I was fucking broke.
This
I thought, what are you
is
doing, man? I thought, well, you're an idiot. I felt like an idiot. I'm 50 years old and I'm broke.
Well, yeah. I bet you traveled a lot of cool places.
Oh, I've been to a lot of good. I stopped here though. I stopped here.
You married?
Yeah, that's my wife and the daughter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You got any kids?
Yeah, oh yeah. We got 4 kids. Been married 33 years. I've drug her. No, because the country wonder she ain't left me.
You're too far gone to go back.
Right. I ain't turning back.
Well, hey, thanks a lot.
Put these keys up and I'll take you in the bike shop.
Okay. Hey, Tess, we're going to go in the bike shop. Then we went on a tour of the gift shop.
Yeah, this is awesome.
This is a good little place for people to stop, you know.
Well, once it gets going, man, it's a place of boom.
And Tess and Grant even got in on the action and did an interview of their own.
That's why Harley's down. That's why Harley's not up there. Huh?
Oh.
That's why Harley's not up on the building. See where Harley's going?
Yeah.
It's laying right there. They wanted to tear it down.
Yeah, and they
wanted him to build a $250,000 building.
Move it to corporate.
Right. People like you, if y'all make it big, you'll come back.
Yeah.
You'll be back here. This place probably in the movies.
The kids were doing a really good job on this trip. They were apprehensive about the whole thing. But they did a really good job kind of adapting and figuring out how to use the cameras and how to do the sound. And they were stepping up to the challenge. I was proud of them for that. So we rolled out of Hatch and we hit the 12, went through Bryce Canyon. I got a bright idea that I was going to take a shortcut so we can get some better footage up a road. And come to find out, it was the wrong way. We weren't even heading in the right direction. I wasn't even close. Luckily, we caught it. Everybody was a little angry with me because I had taken them off the beaten path quite a bit. So we stopped to just have a break and lose some tension. The kids went off to get some scenery and took off to the cow pasture and found some mushrooms. Tim and I sat by the rig and had a chat. Tony and I got recalibrated on where we were going, what was going on. Why are you on this crazy road trip, Tim?
I don't know. I met this kid. He had this vision for going to Sturgis and attending the road rally, the annual road rally down there. And I have talked for years, maybe 5-6 years, to my friend Cowboy out of Albuquerque about filming Sturgis because he's involved in the music scene over there. And they put it on every year, so he's got us a spot to camp out in Sturgis. And I thought, what the hell? I'm gonna go fishing.
And it was a nice time. We got oriented, and everything was going smooth operationally. Price, Utah, I started to notice the brakes were smoking from the back of the rig, the axles. So we pulled over on the side of the road and I inspected it. We'd yanked out the emergency brake cable. And so the brakes had seized up for God knows how many miles. Wasn't really sure what the damage was, but by the time we got into Price, Utah, it was too late to find anybody to fix it. So early Saturday morning, about 6 a.m., Tim and I got up and we hooked up the rig and we rolled downtown Price, Utah, to try to find somebody that could fix the rig. We found these guys. They were very helpful and very diligent at American Car Care Center in Price, Utah. And they jumped all over it like a bunch of NASCAR mechanics. And they tore the rig apart and started calling everybody they could find for parts.
What do you think?
It needs some food.
Yeah?
Smoking like a bastard, he said.
Yeah, smoking pretty good.
Confident?
Yeah, feeling good about it. I was worried about finding a place that they knew what they were doing, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm glad you guys have experience with all this. What is that, the 9 or the 16? We're gonna meander up and through. I gotta look at my map. I'm not really sure where I'm going. I don't know.
What brought you down here to Colorado?
Utah.
Or I mean Utah, yeah. Oh,
This is the area I grew up in.
so this is where you're originally from, and you just gonna keep coming back through here.
Yeah.
How long you been wrenching?
Pardon?
How long you been wrenching? Been a mechanic?
23 years.
You can fix anything, huh?
I wouldn't wish this profession on nobody. The owners, they make money, but the mechanics, like, he charges $80 an hour for me. I get 8 of them. 8 out of 80.
Yeah.
Come on, Gary, give me $20.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. Yeah, you ever think of going into business for yourself?
You know what? I screwed up when I was young, and I took going for this. The government offered to help me open a shop, but I just some kid and I'm scared, never done it.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it.
Hindsight's 20/20.
Jumped on it.
Yeah, now you know. Hey, it's never too late either. You could always do it.
Yes, still.
You got a garage at home and tools.
Well, I got a fiance over in the Philippines. They pay big money for these cars here.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
and have them shipped there too.
Yeah. Bad
I
gun.
was over there in October, and in a month's time, I saw one American car, and that was a Tahoe. They got 2 modes of public transportation, and one of them is a motorcycle with a covered sidecar.
Yeah,
and then the
rickshaws.
It looks like a Jeep, but it's a bus. Like these older style Jeeps, but
Yeah.
it's a bus. It's in there.
And it's all gold. You got the dangling things on there all over the place. So what's that fella's name that's in there looking for the brakes?
Kevin.
Kevin?
Kevin Flower.
I'm gonna go check on Kevin, see how he's doing. Hey, I appreciate you coming out and working on this first thing in the morning.
It will get you a ways, but it's getting late on Saturday's the problem.
Couldn't find anything. So we told him to put everything back together, and we decided that we'd go ahead and limp it the rest of the way. The best chances of finding the parts for the rig were Casper, Wyoming. It was several hundred miles away at that point. We rolled into Helper, Utah. Now this part of the country is unique in the sense that there's coal miners and there's oil riggers, and they're all kind of in the same proximity. We met both of these kind of people. There's what did that guy tell us last night in Helper? Helper, Utah was about.
Helper, Utah, when the railroad came through, there were primarily Italians and Middle Europeans, Hungary, that came here and settled in Price.
To work on the railroad.
And settled in Helper. Now, Helper's called Helper because they got special locomotives that take the trains over Soldiers Summit. Which is Route 6 that goes up to 15.
Which we're fixing to probably head up that way.
Yeah, we're fixing it.
Helper.
Why are you making fun of me? You're from where I'm from.
Helper also.
We're all fixing to go up there.
You'll find out. Butch Cassidy came to Helper. Not Sundance Kid. Butch Cassidy was in Helper. He did a lot of stuff out here.
Thank you, Lord, for this sandwich that Paris seems so interested in.
Wow, it's so yummy.
Everybody else's food.
Okay, well, I was just trying to get the focus.
Yeah, well, it's like, thank you, Lord Jesus, for this chili dog.
You're no fun.
And all these creams.
Wow.
I got plenty. Which came on 2 separate plates.
Oh, what's that? A chicken fried steak?
Yeah.
With gravy?
Let me get a shot of that.
Now what? In Helper, Utah, we enjoyed the downtown scenery, we grabbed a bite to eat, and then we moved on.
Here comes the cops. We're fucked.
Better run. Better grab your only gun. Flush the toilet, flush the drugs. Swallow those pills, those reds, the browns and blues.
Thank you very much. We were still limping along and finally made it out of Utah. Of our 6 days on the road, 4 had been laid over in Utah. Not only was it a long state, not only did we pick the most remote route, but the beauty was so spectacular we ended up stopping a lot. There was a lot we didn't want to miss, and that's part of what off-the-grid philosophy is about, is smelling the roses. Rolling north into Wyoming, I took another gamble and picked a random road to see if we could find a decent campsite. So far I was 0 for 2 with my spontaneity. This time we rolled over a hill and saw Lake Alcova. There was an RV pulling away from a primo lakeside spot just as we rolled in. We were finally going to get to go fishing. Tim stoked a fire, Tony and Grant fished, I worked on editorial, and Tess prepared the grub. After dinner, Tim started talking about a scene he wanted to shoot in a lake the next morning that involved me having to get in the water. I sort of blew it off, hoping he would forget. The lake was pretty to look at, but the water was still cold at 5 in the morning. Next morning at sunrise, though, I hear commotion and stick my head out of my sleeping bag, and Grant's waist deep in water, setting the sticks. Tim's grinning ear to ear, so I figured I'd be a sport. I grabbed some soap and shampoo and went out and got a shot.
Not the ducks! There's one thing I've never told you, Tim. I'm terrified of ducks! I can't stand it, man. You gotta get me out of this lake. Get the shot. Daffy Duck used to freak me out as a kid, man. Go ahead now. I'm gonna condition.
Alright. So Rockinsaw is your band.
Rockinsaw is my band. Me and Todd and Steve-O.
Why aren't those guys with us?
They had to work, but they're gonna be next time. We're gonna play going across country, stop in little pubs, set up our gear, treat the people in town to a show. So are we done?
Just get right. How close can you get to us?
Damn, I need a drink.
You should talk with a really deep voice and act like you're in gangland.
See, it would be better if you were like, great.
Really appreciate y'all coming along on the trip. You won't be sorry. That was my gangland voice.
No doubt we were wide awake and up early for our last push into Sturgis that day. We had a lot of road to cover and our pace was declining. I noticed a lot more bikes at this point. We arrived in Casper, Wyoming Monday morning. We got our parts. It was pretty easy, but we couldn't find anybody to fix the rig. We just get the parts. We couldn't fix it. So we stopped to stock up and we got some groceries to figure out what we were going to do next. All I know is that I was ready to be in Sturgis at that point. I'd been going so slow and the rig had been kind of holding back. We hit some weather on the way and waited out the thunderstorm in the parking lot.
How's Mama doing?
Yeah, I talked today to my mom. She's doing good.
What?
My mom prayed for us.
How old is Mom today?
98 years old.
You're going to go to Peru as soon as you get back from this trip, aren't you?
Yes.
Why are you going down to Peru, Tony? For some pussy?
But that's very important, very important. Cut!
We'll all get in the editorial and we'll take that completely out. What is your lady's name?
Kathy.
A film crew to go with you?
I need a crew when I chaka.
Cell phone communicates via text message.
Yeah.
So if you're using a phone, a pay phone, you're especially hard up. And I just made some observations in the city of LA of people that use payphones, some things that I saw, real things that I saw. And I put together, compiled a song about the payphone people, the people that technology has left behind.
When you went off the grid, when you came off the grid, and you decided to make this change in your life, you
didn't become a payphone.
No.
Just staying under the radar, yeah, not being stupid, being credit free and living off the bare minimum. It's hard living off the grid. It's not an easy thing. You work really hard for that every day. You have to be willing to get dirt.
Well, I know for me it's been kind of like a revelation and everything that I've counted as being important up till now.
So what's important now?
Having fun.
What was important then?
Making money.
The last 100 miles was torture. Even though the rig didn't hinder us so much on the interstate as it did on the hills, we were all tired and wanted to get to camp. The stormy sky was amazing. We stopped again to get a shot of a rainbow. We finally rolled into Sturgis, exited Lozelle Street, and called Rowdy our host to come fetch us. This was our first impression of Rowdy.
Just trying to call you because I didn't see you on May. All right, come follow me.
I like this guy.
Me too.
Rowdy led us to camp. We backed in and we met some of the occupants. Some were Sturgis locals. Most were fellow bikers. Anxious to visit the Full Throttle Saloon the following day, I forgot about the brakes for a little while. We watched the bikes roar up and down Lozelle Street non-stop. We crashed in spite of the noise that night.
This is Drew Alexander. He's a lead singer, guitar player for a little band called Rockinsaw. You're beautiful.
Thank you very much.
And I didn't want to spend another minute without telling you. We'd like to put you in our movie.
Okay.
So,
what do I have to do?
From the time we pulled into Sturgis until the time we left, Tim was plugging Rockinsaw. We checked out the bikes and explored Full Throttle, checked out the equipment other crews were using. Tony romanced the chicas, and we wrapped up at Full Throttle when security started cracking down on my crew for their age. That was all right, so we hit downtown Main Street Sturgis. There were tattoo shops everywhere, and Tim was determined to get a tat. The first shop we went to had a long waiting list. The second shop accommodated us immediately. And finally, Tim got his tattoo.
We missed this,
I'm
right?
getting a tattoo.
Off the grid, Sturgis.
This is like my first tattoo. I'm almost 60. I never had a tattoo before.
Right on, dude. There's your boy right there on the end.
Yep.
I'll take you over.
Sturgis was a madhouse, especially at night. There were tons of cops and LED lighting all over the bikes. At camp, we sat on the sidewalk, sipped whiskey, and watched the show on Lozelle Street. I set up the PA and played acoustic each night. My new buddy John was a musician and a gentleman, so he got in on the action. We both enjoyed playing together in the evening. During the week, the crew and I rolled out to Mount Rushmore via Deadwood. We ran into the guys we'd met in Utah, and they ended up hanging out at our camp later. Very cool cats. Hardcore riders. Kilt boys.
We're very territorial. Hey, watch out. She's shooting.
Yeah.
One.
Squeeze the trigger, don't pull it. No, don't! Stop!
This thing's loaded.
Yeah, that was not a good idea.
You're going to put a hole in my tub and I'm going to have to get your ass.
Okay, you're doing one.
Did we find the arrow?
Shot.
That's okay, we got plenty more.
Well, yeah, I'm ready to shoot.
I got plenty of arrows. I got arrows. Lots and lots of arrows.
I see you, buddy.
You want to try this?
Chocolate chip. Looks like chocolate chip.
You gonna sit there and charge me? Charge me?
I'm having some nachos. It would take me about 25 seconds.
I heard it go in. There it is, right there.
Oh wow!
You're going in there.
It deflected and went around.
In it.
Huh?
Put an arrow in the slingshot.
Couple nachos hanging out.
You don't want to be there at all right now. Don't stand anywhere near that. Tell me where that thing's going. It's going ahead.
God, I can't do it with Tim there.
Yeah.
That was pretty.
That was the exact spot he was sitting. Fuck, I'm the cameraman.
But you're talking.
I'm not supposed. I'm like a mascot.
Fair enough.
But
You also
cool.
edit the audio. But you're Grant?
Yeah, I'm Grant. What was your guys'
Jason.
name? Jason.
Hey man, I'm Jeff.
Yeah, we met you guys like
In Utah.
Utah. That's
Yeah.
where it was. That's way before Wyoming.
Yeah, we were headed up from Vernal. Wyoming's really, really wide. I was not expecting to be that long.
Utah is fucking amazing though. Like the beauty of it.
Did you get
Where are
out?
you coming from again?
Houston, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah, we went Houston, Texas to Lawton, Oklahoma. Back through Texas. Yeah,
to
New Mexico, then to Alamosa, Colorado.
That's pretty cool.
I hear there's good riding in Arkansas. Yeah, I haven't made it up there yet.
It's a lot of.
When I went through Arkansas, it was all wooded and it was hot as hell, which I was used to. Because humidity, because in Houston it's like 100% humidity, 100 degrees.
Yeah,
Your sweat doesn't work.
That's why right now I'm not like sweating balls right now because if it was this hot in Arkansas, oh god.
Well, man, it must be hard to sweat balls as a girl.
You'd be surprised.
But other people freaking out on the road, running you off the road because I have a rifle strapped up.
The camp crowd shuffled throughout the week. We talked to Rocket.
In other social clubs, you know, you just can't walk in there and sit down, be friendly, and you know, and feel comfortable, and you know. But we can't because we're true bikers. American spirit.
American spirit.
That's what it is, and we keep it alive.
There's a nasty side to the ride too, and we're all cognizant of. We all think about it. It's all in the back of our minds, but that's why I think there's so much of a brotherhood. We're all kind of risking our ass, and it can just as easily go sour as it is good.
We know.
So what do you do for a living, man?
I take care of the rich and famous housewives in Austin, Texas.
Nice. We met Robert.
Now you've already shared with me some of your life, and it's impressive. Yeah, I'm very impressed.
Cool, man. How's it going?
Pretty good. Hey, what's up, buddy?
We're making a movie right now.
Oh, perfect.
That's okay. What's going on?
Hey, anybody's got a 3/8 or a 10mm to fit that?
Yeah, I got it. Hold on. Yeah. And you kind of have the having fun. You live it to an epitome. You walk it like you talk it. And an example is your leg. I mean, you didn't let your injury prohibit you from continuing to go out and ride.
Yeah, like 2 years ago, I was going to work, and unfortunately, in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, and the guy he drank too much. He just shut off his car and then by the time I see it, because it was dark, it was too late. I just with the bumper on my motor, I got shot. I knew it.
You knew when you hit that your leg was gone.
Yeah, because thanks God I never lost conscious when I got my accident.
Yeah.
And I lay down on the other side of the freeway, and I saw cars coming, and I crawled to the bar.
You crawled?
Yeah. The paramedics arrived. One of the paramedics told me, do you know you're going to lose your leg? I said, yeah, I know. When they tried to take it out my boot, my leg, boom, come out.
The tattoo guys would come home at about 3 in the morning, crash out, then wake up about 7 a.m. and go to the Full Throttle to give tattoos that day. Some of the riders didn't want to go on record, but that didn't make them less cordial. I think one of the lasting things I'll take away from this trip is how bikers will give you the shirt off their back if you need it. The brotherhood in that camp all week long was unwavering. And as the Sturgis Rally 2013 wrapped up and campers started to dwindle, we had the camp and the streets of Sturgis to ourselves. Only a few vendors holding out, walked the streets and tried to imagine the city the other 355 days of the year when there were no riders. Sort of sad to see it wind down. We also know there'll be next year. I held out to the last minute and changed the brake drums on my rig. Finally, we could relax and Tony could stop the rig. Rowdy fixed my landing gear that broke at Alcova. He's a genius. But in spite of our procrastination, it was time for us to leave. We rolled a different route home, through Colorado, where we found a tunnel to wait out a rainstorm and saw more rainbows. We camped on the shore of Trinidad Lake before heading into New Mexico.
We find ourselves in New Mexico, someplace.
Off the beaten path.
Off the beaten path in a, kind of a nondescript location that we can't really discuss or talk about because they'll come kill us.
Area 51 type stuff.
Yeah, it's dead serious Indian reservation taboo to photograph this location on video. So
we basically grew up here. Part of my childhood up here because my grandma and my grandfather, they pretty much lived up here.
And I may be wrong. Was it when the Spaniards came through with the conquistadors and Catholic priests and all that stuff that a lot of the Pueblo Nation got wiped out?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they utilized the people as slaves here to build a church. Yeah, you'll see the church that it's a massive church. You know, the walls are almost 12 feet thick. You know?
Wow.
Yeah, and it's about 40 feet high. Yeah. You know, even though it's kind of like a fortress type of thing, you know, but you know, I mean, you know, eventually they did. You know.
I heard they maimed a lot of the boy children.
Oh yeah, yeah. To gain bells from Mexico, they traded off 4 kids, you know, or 8 kids, I believe, 4 boys, 4 girls, something like that, you know, for the bells. You know, it's the oldest continuously inhabited. Yeah.
In North America.
Yeah. Yeah, people live there day to day.
How many people live up there?
Actually, I have like about 8 families that live there, like, you know, the whole year through. But here, basically, I mean, you know, a lot of people complain, they're taking pictures down there. I said, well, I mean, heck, I go out on the road and I stop and take pictures of it and see something that I like.
Well, you know, we've been on the road for 20 days. This is Drew Alexander. He's the star of the show.
If I see them pull off somewhere down here, I'll tell them, you know, turn off your...
Yeah.
Because they don't allow it, you know. But, so, you know, how many do I miss? You know, I mean, there's...
Many.
You know, it's too many.
The hobbyist and the people you're talking about, they're taking it for their own edification.
Yeah.
We're on a mission, you know, to get footage all over the western United States.
You never had that?
Doing very well. I'm feeling something here, you know. I'm feeling something in my arm. And later I'm sleeping and I'm open my eyes. It's a big spider like this, and he walking with it. And later, you know, I close my eyes and later,
You're like, oh, it's a spider. And you're like, oh, fuck, it's a spider.
get out of here.
This Sturgis project was a test of endurance, patience, and friendships. The crew and I cherished the experiences we shared, the people we met along the way that we never would have known if we hadn't stepped up to this challenge. On the road is where we need to be to connect to the people. It's easy to drown in BS in LA. It's where you want to be is Main Street, USA. That's where you find the heart, soul, and spirit that evolved this country into what it is today. Today, a guy can come off a mountain with a song in his head, start a rock band, and present his work to the masses. Anyone can do it. You just have to take the first steps. So now I have my band and my crew, and we have the desire to travel off the beaten path and out of Hollywood, to come to your small towns, to play with your local bands, regretting what we have done rather than what we haven't. And we're going to film this entire shitstorm guerrilla style. I'm Drew Alexander, and this is Off the Grid with Rockinsaw.